I'm Terrence James, and you're watching another episode of Neutral Reviews, where we do real reviews for real decisions. And today we are looking at the 2023 Volvo XC40 Recharge. And I have borrowed the keys for this vehicle from Levin's Volvo Cars London, who has a fantastic location, welcoming atmosphere, and who also offers some of the most safe, practical, and luxurious vehicles on the road today, including this one. Now, the XC40 came out for the 2018 model year and was Volvo's entry into the compact luxury SUV market. But for 2021, they made it fully electric, hoping that it would lead to electrifying the rest of the lineup, pardon my pun. But one of the things that I do like with Volvo is that they do realize that not everybody shares the same electrified future or the vision of it thereof, because not everyone plans on driving around in a jelly bean shaped living room. So they have kept the traditional SUV shape, which we appreciate, but we still have to have the new, and what they've done is they've sprinkled it in the inside by way of adding in a lot more environmentally friendly and sustainable materials to get us the new stuff that way, because those changes are easier to adopt on the inside. But one thing remains the same, whether gas or electric, the XC40 has always been a very safe, practical, and luxurious little vehicle. So let's take a look. Off we go. Before we get into too much, I want to do a couple of tests before we leave here. First, I want to do our acceleration and braking test. So here we go. Okay, here's where we do our traffic light Grand Prix acceleration test. Like, we want to rush up that stoplight as fast as we can just to hammer out on the brakes. Here we go. Okay, I got my foot on the brake and the gas, and here we go. Whoa! That's crazy fast. That's actually nuts. And hard on the brakes. Oh! Oh, we did a little skid. That was pretty good. Pass. Okay, next is our handling test. Let's see how this thing handles. Okay, it was pretty fast. Let's see if it holds tight. All right. Whoa, that's crazy. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, we're going way faster than you normally would. And here we go. How does it hold? This is a really tight corner. That's impressive. This really holds like a little go-kart, considering that it's an SUV. Wow, and of course it's zippy because of the electric, but I'm telling you, this handles really, really impressively well. Pass. Okay, our next test is our how much does this thing rattle around test. It's a lot of money, it's a luxury vehicle. So we got a little gravel road here. So we're gonna try a new test here. We're gonna take off our lid, and we're gonna have our water bottle here, and we're gonna see if we can have a drink of our water bottle or coffee as we're going down this gravel road here. So away we go. And it is. It's a very nice, quiet vehicle. Obviously, there's no engine to make noise. Oh, good. We're not wearing it all over these seats, which is nice. But in all seriousness, yeah, it rides really nice, really quiet, as it should for a luxury vehicle. Pass. Okay, our next test is our backup test, and as you can see, this being the upgraded version, you've got a 360 camera here. So if you touch the car here, you can change the direction of the camera. So we have it on the 360 now. So it's kind of neat. If you want to touch the front of the car, look, you got a front camera. Not that necessary in a smaller vehicle like this, but I think it's a great idea. It makes things a lot easier to park, gives you great visibility of what's ahead of you. I really, really like that. And of course, you've got sides. You can see what's right beside you if you're parking in really close to a wall or something like that. But yeah, we'll just do our conventional backup camera here. And it does have dynamic lines. So here we go. We just want to go around the corner here because it's not the easiest thing to back up when you go around a corner sometimes. So here we go. We'll put it in reverse. It already is. All right, here we go. This is exciting stuff. Okay, so here we go. So I'm video gaming it here, looking in the little screen, and we're going around the corner pretty good. And pass. Okay, now that we pulled over, let's take a better look at this. And the first thing we need to do is see if it passes the Canadian cargo test, because you never know when a game of road hockey is going to break out in Canada, and you always want to be prepared. So here we go. Ooh, that was easy. Little popper on the button on the bottom. Looks like I need to help it up a little bit. And voila, pass through and pass. We could take our hockey stick and probably one small hockey bag with us to the hockey rink in Canada. Okay, we like to have a lot of fun in those tests to make sure that you can use this vehicle in Canada, but let's take it a little bit more serious. Let's do some feels. So on this vehicle here, I can't remember if there is a kick sensor or not. Let's give it a try. Sometimes it's fancy Volvo. maybe. I mean, look at me go here. I guess not. We're gonna say fail on that one, as if there is, it's not working great. All right, so let's hit the button here. So as you can see, power tailgate, and you can lock it. So if you're short like me, you can lock it here, and that way you can grab it if you want, which is nice and handy. So when we come back here, let's take a peek with the old Neutral Reviews comment cam. Ooh. So as you can see, not a ton of space back here. Very similar to my Volkswagen Golf. This is kind of like a lifted hatchback, but still, you know, you can make it work if you pack light. And in here, what's underneath here? Oh, look at that. Nice big cavity there. I would imagine it's for snacks or your charger. This giant charger over here. And you saw that there's some tools there that probably nobody's ever going to use for a Volvo. Anyway, let's check out the rest here. So what do we got for practical features? Oh, you got little tie down thingy-maboppers. So if you got anything, you know, really rugged you want to put in the back of your XC40 Recharge, you can do that and tie it down, kind of like a pickup truck. You got some nice grocery bag type hangers here on both sides, really nice. And then when we come down here, you got a 12-volt plug-in. So again, you can have a little tailgate party and plug in a cooler or something like that. Keep your beverages and your food cold and whatnot. So how do I get these seats down? Well, you got a pass-through here, as we saw, for that hockey stick. Oh, there we go, or anything else long that you want to put in. Now, when it comes to getting these back seats down for 60/40 split, I have something on the other side, so we can't do that right now. But they are power, at least for the latching part. Ooh, nice. And as you can see, that really does open up a lot more space, especially if we could put that other seat down, which I will in a minute. But up here, as you can see, you do have your removable cargo cover here, which is nice as well. So it does look like, for a smaller little SUV, it does have some usable space and some nice little practical features, like we said Volvo's very good at. So let's check out the back seat and see how practical it is there. Okay, next test before we get in the inside to check out all the feels. Can I put my baby seat in my rechargeable vehicle? Because that's the point. Here we go. Oh, it may be good for the environment. Okay, oh, well, this vehicle, or the door doesn't open up as far as I would like, especially on a smaller SUV, to give you a fighting chance here. But hey, I stuffed this thing in a BRZ, so we should be okay. Here we go. Oh. Voila! We could take our baby with us in our XC40 Recharge. Bass. All right, getting in the back of the XC40 Recharge here. And as you can see, getting in, that wasn't too bad. I do have this seat up here where I would sit. I'm 5'7" and 150 pounds, but I always joke, and I got 2 inches of spiky hair, and I like to stay right away from that steering wheel. So as you can see, that's about a 5'9" driver, give or take, and I have the seat upright, and there's still tons of leg room here. Headroom-wise, also not too bad. Actually, again, you know, I'm a shorter person. We do have this nice sunroof that does eat into some of that headspace. But all in all, not too bad at all. So let's get the old comment cam out here. Look at the doors here. See this carpet here is some of this new material that we're talking about. We do have a pocket there. Some nice switch gear. You do have some nice materials like this. The holes on here does look pretty nice, and the aluminum looking handle and whatnot, but the plastics do look a little bit cheap. But again, this vehicle is a little bit more utilitarian, so I think part of it is price point, and part of it is kind of giving you that sustainable, more tactile, more rugged materials in here. Same with the backs of the seats, things like that, but you do have this beautiful leather here, matte pocket. Come over here, we do have 2 nice looking vents that you can move around, and down here you do have heated seats, multi-level on both sides, and you do have 2 USB-C plugs. Ooh, nice and modern as well. It does look like it is a 3-seater, but I don't know how much comfortable that's going to be. But we'll try in a second here. Do we got cup holders? Yep, not too bad. We got cup holders, which is nice. So let's try this out here. Oh boy. Actually, you know what? That's not too bad. But you're going to have to share some leg room and hip room and everything. You're going to have some small people back here. But all in all, that's actually, I mean, I didn't want to go real far back here, but that's not too bad for a middle seat, actually. And these side seats, again, not too bad at all. because again, it's a smaller SUV. Usually probably kids are going to be back here, so it seems plenty comfortable enough. And again, you got fancy leather with Alcantara, so that's not going to be easy to clean, but it definitely looks nice. Definitely. You have some nice floor mats in here. I don't know if that's an upgrade accessory, if that comes with here. But they definitely look nice, look like they're molded and whatnot. I don't believe that these seats recline back here because it's a smaller SUV, but again, it's not too bad. You've got a spot up here to put your hangers and a light and things like that, but otherwise, it is pretty simple back here, and that's totally fine. The last thing I want to check, though, is the barfy visibility. If you were somebody like me when I was a kid and you got shotgun only because you got sick in the car a lot. So as you can see, not bad visibility. It does seem like kind of like theater style type seating back here to where even someone my height, I can see out not too bad. So like we said, let's go up to the front and see what it's like up there. Okay, getting into the front of the XC40 Recharge. Now, one of the interesting things about this vehicle that's going to be a little bit different if you've never been in a vehicle like this before, electric that is, and fancy electric, is there's no push button start or anything else like that. The minute I sit in this chair is the minute that this car can turn on. All I have to do is put my foot on the brake, put the handle down into drive or reverse, whatever direction I want to go, and away I go. Pretty interesting that way, and a little strange if you're not used to it, but that's the way it works. So let's talk about some of the comfort and feel type things in here. Let's start with the seats. They're quite nice, actually. I really like the way Volvo seats look, but there's quite a bit of adjustment on this side here. So let's just see. So if you want to get nice and high, you can get nice and high in here, if that makes you feel better. If you want to, ooh. You want to go nice sports car or low in your XC40 Recharge? Ooh, actually, you know what? You can go pretty low. That's kind of neat. But yeah, you probably want to go at a decent height on something like this. And it does have your lumbar for your back and things like that. Ooh, that's nice. And one thing that I do like here, I'll show you on the passenger seat, you do have these extendable thigh cushions, which is pretty nice. So if your legs are a little bit longer and you want to extend them out, they do have that. It's pretty nice. So these seats, yeah, are pretty firm, more like a sporty type seat, but on the same note, strangely comfortable. So I think you could probably go on a decent trip on these, but probably this is more of a daily commuter, especially being an electric vehicle. So yeah, they feel just fine. Let's take a look at this steering wheel. As you can see, I am a sucker for a nice steering wheel. Volvo steering wheels are nice. They feel good. Good shape, not too thick, not too small. Good diameter size. And I like the way that, unlike that XC90 that I did last year that had haptic touch buttons here, these are more conventional buttons, so that is nice because those ones were kind of frustrating, kind of like the new Golf R, where if you kind of graze your thumb on them, things happen that you may not necessarily be planning for. And can I change this steering wheel? That's the next question. Is it, ooh, adjustable? Yep, telescopic and tilting, manual. So, you know, but still, you do have that adjustment, and it is quite a bit of adjustment on there. So, and it's not all that school bussy, because nobody really likes a school bussy type feel unless you're a school bus driver. What else to talk about in here? Let's just take a quick look at the switch gear. Again, Volvos are quite nice. Oh, the radio turned on for us here. So maybe they want us to talk about that. Let's look at this infotainment while we're here. And I know nothing about it, so I'm assuming this is a home button. So this is really an interesting experiment. And we're listening to something, so are we listening to this? I think maybe. Now, how do you turn that down? That is going to be the next thing here. So let's just see the steering wheel, because as we said, you do have steering wheel buttons. So that's not working. So we're talking, this seems a little bit confusing, but I have used Volvo in the past, and they were not too bad, actually. Oh, right here in front of me. Oh, isn't that nice? So they have kept a nice hard button. That's my fault. It is actually fairly intuitive. So as you can see, you got a big play pause button on there I should have recognized. But yeah, you do have some hard buttons here still, which is nice, but they're nice and clean still, and that does feel quite nice, and it does look pretty luxurious. So you can go forward, back, play, pause, volume, and you got your heated front and rear windscreens. You've got your hazards there, of course, and then moving down here, you do have a 12-volt plug-in. You do have two USB-C ports, which is nice, and a electric charger for your phone. Let's just see here. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. Not bad, the 3-second rule. Sometimes they take forever, so that's nice. It hooked right up. And let's just see here. We're looking at CarPlay. Let's see, is it wireless? Again, I don't know. Connect your phone using USB. Well, I wonder if that's because this is a Google/Android. So I don't know if you have an Android phone, if it's wireless. We'll check on the screen. But yeah, no, and when we talk about that, let's go back to the home here and let's talk to it. Because I believe that this is Google-based. So what that means is that this is hooked up to the cloud, so you should be able to talk to it like your phone and have that Google Assistant do pretty much anything I would imagine that your phone can. So let's give it a try. Hey, Google. Turn up the heat.
Sure, turning up the temperature.
Google, I would like to get to Levin's Volvo Cars, London. Can you give me the directions? I'm too cheap to pay for the royalties for the music, but let's pretend there's some intense music here. Well, let's try one more time. Google? Hey, Google. Are you sleeping on the job?
Sorry, I don't understand.
That's because you were sleeping. Can I get directions? Hey, Google. Maps.
Opening maps.
Can I get directions? Can I search a location? Can you pay for my taxes? Can you do my taxes? Anyway, we're going to say this is a bit of a fail, but I probably don't know how to talk to the online assistant. But it is pretty neat that this is hooked up to the cloud and that you can do a lot of things like that. And another benefit to that is the fact of having a cloud-based infotainment is that if it does get a little old and stale, it's just software. They can do over-the-air updates, or if there's things just like your phone that need security patches or there's bugs or things like that, it can easily be updated and they can change the features. So that's pretty cool. But looking on here as well, it does look like they've put the climate control on here at the bottom, but it does look like it's there permanently. So here you've got your heated steering wheel, your heated seats. Over there, similar for the passenger. Obviously no heated steering wheel over there. And over here you've got your fan that you can pull up, and when you do that, it does give you the different range of fan speeds. As you can see, you do have dual zone temperatures, and again, not hard, but it keeps those grounded at the bottom there for you. And they also put your air conditioning, heat, and those hard buttons that are down here for your windscreens there as well. And again, you can always easily get back to home. One of the things that I like with the Volvo infotainment as well is they kind of try to make it look like your cell phone, as you can see here with the different icons and the way that they organize them and whatnot. So all in all, it's not a bad system, and it's improving all the time. Now, when we're looking here as well, so what are some of the other things that you're going to use all the time? Some of the other practical features, like cup holders. Here we go. We got 2 normal size cup holders here. That look like they would work just fine. And you got some door pockets here. It doesn't look like you could easily stuff a big water bottle or anything in there, but it is carpeted, which is nice. So it stops stuff from making a lot of noise when it's rattling around in there, or so it doesn't rattle around in there, I should say. And what do we got here? Well, that's a neat little compartment. I don't really know what that's for, but hide stuff, I guess. And what do we got here? Ooh, some more, yeah, I could stick some food in there, I think. Don't want to forget about it, like that banana I did in my office drawer one time that looked like a mummy. Anyway, what do we got in here? Yep, a nice glove compartment. Not super big, but it's not a super big vehicle, but enough to put some stuff there. And again, we hopefully don't need to do the Barfy test up here, but what is the visibility like up here? As you can see, there is a decent amount of space that you can see out. It does seem pretty airy, but on the same note, Volvos do give you the impression of safety because of the thick pillars and things like that, and it's not an impression, it is safe. As we were saying before, it's amazing vehicle that way. They put the same type of effort into the safety things that you probably never even know. Like for instance, these seats here, the headrest and things like that, the whole seat, if you were in an accident, will try to keep your posture a certain way and ratchet you up to stop whiplash and to help keep your spine integrity. And the actual frames of the seat as well are structured in such a way that they can withstand an impact a lot better. It's pretty amazing. So if you are into safety, or even if you're not, and it helps you have peace peace of mind. The Volvos are really good that way. Also, let's look at our digital cockpit here. So as you can see, it is pretty nice. So what I've done there, I said all you got to do is put your foot on the brake, and then you pull your gear shift knob either back or front. So I do have it in drive right now. And we come back up here, you do see that it does give you a lot of information. Now, because of the sun, it isn't easy to see, but it does have a dial on the left, and it does look pretty good. The Volvo cockpit here is not quite as nice as an Audi, but it is quite nice. It's definitely high-end, that's for sure. I can't remember how much you can manipulate these. Let's just see. Okay, so that's nice. As you can see, you got the map. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Volkswagen Audi Group does that. They put the map right there in the middle. I really, really like that. So you're not distracted looking over there. Yeah, and you get some different information on there, which is really nice. Yeah, I'd have to say this is a nice little vehicle. The only other thing I wanted to mention with this package here as well is you do have this sunroof. How do you open it? I would imagine, oh, there you go, nice electronic button with your thumb, but that actually worked pretty good. As you can see, it's opening up on its own, and there is quite a bit of space. And again, for a small vehicle, that is really, really nice to look out to the stars at nighttime. Yeah, so this is really a nice little vehicle, but the main thing is, how does it drive? Okay, we're gonna do our highway test next here, just to give you an idea of how it is on the highway, realistically. Is it quiet? Does it ride nice, wander all around, get blown around by big trucks, things like that? Also go over a little bit more facts and over our rants, raves, which leads us into our final thoughts. So we already did a handling test, but just normal handling here. You can see not a lot of body roll. Doesn't lean much, gives you a lot of confidence. You could tell it's a shorter wheelbase. You can see that how big it is on the screen there, but it's very short. It's a small little vehicle. Like I said, it's basically like a raised hatchback, so it feels a little darty and things like that, but on the same note, it feels secure. It's just right. All right, so we're gonna merge onto the highway here. Good visibility, and as we saw, it has really, really good pickup, but how is it in realistic situations? Oh, that picks up just crazy fast. So yeah, there's no problem there getting around people, that's for sure. But it's definitely easy to modulate that accelerator. I mean, it goes fast if you want it to, but on the same note, it's not crazy. It's not going to throw you into the ditch type thing. The Volvos are all about safety. It will push before it pushes you around like that. I think it's very neutral, if not more of a I think there's a little bit more power on these that will go to the rear wheels if you want it to give you kind of that rear wheel drive feel when you're going around a corner, but again, it's not going to skid around on you or anything like that. But yeah, it's really, really nice driving, and as you can see here, I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Yeah, you can hear yourself think, which is really nice. There is a little bit of wind noise, but again, it's a windy day, and we are doing highway speeds here. It does feel quite confident on the highway. It really does. Like I said, I got good visibility. It feels sturdy. It's quiet. It does feel like a little luxurious vehicle, but on the same note, it's not a Rolls Royce or something. It does feel somewhat sporty, you know, at the same time. You know, and when we're looking at the price point, of this, you're looking at basically three different trims in this. You've got the base, and you've got a mid trim, and then you've got the top level here. And now the top level here is going to give you the twin motors, the twin electric motors. So you're going to get one up front and one back. So you're going to get 250 kilowatt power batteries front and back instead of 185. I haven't driven that one. I don't imagine it's overly fast. I think it's around 7.5 seconds 0 to 60. This one's under 5, just to give you an idea. But that is going to be better on range. Of course, that other one with the one motor, you're probably going to get, you know, they say in perfect conditions, thing like that, around 475 kilometers, where the faster, more fun one here is still not bad. It's going to give you, you know, around 410, something like that. And again, you've got 3 levels of charging. You can plug it in at home, which is going to take you forever, or you can invest and get that faster charger with the giant cable that we saw there, and it's going to do that in about 8 hours overnight, basically. And then if you do the fast chargers, you can get, you know, about a half an hour from 10 to 80%, again, which is pretty good nowadays. Nothing like filling your car up with gas, but it is, you know, keeping pace with everyone else in that regard. Competition, well, you know, really anything electric or SUV small, but if you want both in that kind of package, you're probably looking at the Tesla for sure there. And now with that Tesla, it's going to be probably a little bit better technology, a little bit, and probably a little bit faster. Not that this is slow by any means, but you know, if you really are trying to compare the two. But it's probably not going to be as built well as this, or you know, structurally be as safe, things like that. And then you're looking at the Mercedes there. Now the Mercedes is nice as well. It's actually going to be probably quite not as fast as this, but be as good built, if not built a little bit better, and handle as well, if not a little better. That's kind of the claim to fame, but you're also going to pay for that as well, especially with that Mercedes. Now that is one of the nice things with the Volvo, because you can get this new from the high 50s and you can get it all the way up to about 80,000 Canadian plus fees and taxes, which again is very expensive, especially for a small little, you know, raised hatchback. But you are getting new technology, and you're getting a lot of things with Volvo that they don't market. But what's kind of neat with Volvo, again, is vehicles are getting very, very heavy nowadays. As you can see in the screen here, this is no lightweight vehicle. But on the same note, what Volvo has done is kind of future-proofing themselves. They're looking at a lot of these vehicles and tried to build them to be able to be hit by big, heavy vehicles, this one included, because vehicles are getting heavier by the day, right? So, you know, Volvo is just putting so much effort into safety. And again, you know, we didn't do a lot of testing because it works pretty good and we're running out of time, but their safety features like their lane keep and things like that, they work really well. They're not, they're a lot more smooth. You can tell they're more luxurious. You know, some of the vehicles I'm driving now, they work, but it's kind of like a sharp on-off. This is very nice. Even the little dings and stuff, if you don't wear your seatbelt, which I will because my mom watches this. Watching and wear my seatbelt. But yeah, I mean, the little dings and everything else are very nice and very pleasant. All in all, not a lot to rant about with this vehicle. When I picked it up, my first impressions were it's a lot bigger for a small vehicle. Like, it looks kind of big and meaty on the outside, but on the inside, yeah, it's nice. It's homey. It's not a ton of space in here, but on the same note, I don't feel like I'm claustrophobic either. Yeah, it's quite nice that way. We could talk forever, but let's lead to our final thoughts. Now, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and check out one of our other electrified reviews so we can get more cool cars like this one and our upcoming review. Now, we started off this review by looking to put the facts against the feels for the XC40 Recharge. And here's the facts and feels that we used to come up with this final thought. Which is, if you were in the market for a small luxury SUV, I don't think that you can go wrong with the 2023 XC40 Recharge. Reason being is, yes, as we saw, it is a little bit small, may not be the best on range or the fastest or the best handling, but I tell you, it is really good in all of those categories. And one of the nice things is Volvos are very appealing on the outside. It's an excellent price point if you can get into it compared to some of its competition. And they're wonderfully safe. That's one of the things that I like, especially if you do have family or people that you're stuffing in there that you care about. They put the same amount of effort into safety features that you may not see as someone like Porsche does underneath the car for aero and things like that. So it is pretty impressive when you look at it like that. And sometimes Volvo did have problems with those complex four-cylinder hybrid engines with long-term reliability on those, which scared some buyers away. But with this, electric vehicles are very simple. So you should be able to get the best of all worlds, including the electrified world, with the all-new XC90 Recharge. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.